All right, guys, thank you so much for being here today. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. My name is Serena. I'm one half of Life After Union. I make these weekly videos to help you through your twin flame journey, your conscious relationships, and of course, your spiritual awakening. So with that being said, I run a beautiful, powerful twin flame community. You can check the link out down below if you're interested in joining a supportive community. We meet every other week for our live webinars. Sometimes we do group meditations. Sometimes we talk about what's coming up energetically. Sometimes we have content lessons. It's different every time. So with that being said, last night we had a beautiful call. So many beautiful stories and synchronicities and sharings. And what we were talking about was completely impromptu, but it brought to my attention how important it is to talk about this right now. So this is my guide for the end of 2025. So if you're tuning into this video, welcome. These principles or these topics that I'm going to be sharing in this video is kind of everything you can expect to arise within you in these last 2 months of 2025. So with that being said, we have this beautiful opportunity to close out this 9-year karmic cycle and begin anew. So if you guys aren't tuned into astrology or numerology or any of those type of disciplines, in numerology right now, we have the end of a 9-year cycle. Okay, so each year is a different number within numerology. This 2025 happens to be a 9-year. So that means the last 9 years of our lives are coming to a culmination, and we'll begin again January 1st on a new 1-year cycle. So this means a lot for all of us. It's not just twin flames, it's everybody's going to be feeling this, but this video specifically is going to take you through what might be arising for you on a twin flame journey. I was shocked when we started talking about this last night in my community call, how much of us were going through similar things. So I was like, you know what, we need to all be talking about this, not just, gatekeeping the information in the community, but sharing it with everybody. So that's what this video is all about. So with that being said, there's a lot to get through today. So buckle in, grab your cup of tea or cup of coffee. Save this for later if you can't watch it all right now. This is essentially an energy update. So you're going to want to listen to the whole thing to go through the entire list with me. Okay, so let's get into it. Ending this 9-year cycle, these last 2 months coming up here. So everything might be going wrong, or it might be little things, right? Like little things to annoy you, little things to push your buttons. Things that you're doing might become harder or messier than you're used to. Like I can give you an example, and I'm going to back all of these up with examples in my own life right now. But an example for me was I went to the grocery store with my daughter and we were paying and I accidentally used the wrong card. So then I'm like, okay, I used the wrong card. It was my husband's card. I meant to use mine. So what's the thing that I should do? I should go back and try and fix it. I try to fix it. I had to take all the groceries back out of the car. They have to rescan them all. I'm out of data. So then I have to buy data, try and call my husband. It was just like this thing. Then because they repacked everything so fast, when I got home, the blueberries had spilled everywhere and were squished and all over the inside of the bag. The bread was smashed, like all of these little things that were super annoying. Our driveway was getting redone, so I had to park all the way at the end of the driveway and carry everything in myself with having a toddler on my hip. Like it was just like, why is this so hard right now? And the reason why it's so hard right now is it's meant to kind of break you open. It's meant to alert you to your patterns, to your expectations, right? You have the opportunity now to work with those frustration feelings, work with the anger, work with that sadness, work with the emotion of I'm not capable, or I can't do it all on my own, or this isn't working, or something's wrong. You have the opportunity to work with all of this and to let go of control. Okay, so when we talk about being present, when you're so present with what's going on, you don't actually have the opportunity to control everything. You're just flowing with the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So what came up for me really deeply was like, all of these frustration feelings, all of these angers. This isn't how it's meant to be. This is all wrong. And through this entire process of putting the groceries away and fixing everything and, spilling things and messing things, I was just deep breathing the entire time. I had a few tears that rolled down and escaped like here and there. It wasn't like a big meltdown. For some of you, it might be. For me, it wasn't like a big meltdown. It was just like a like needing to breathe through it and release that energy, like as I was moving through the emotions. So I was still getting everything done. I was still doing what I needed to do, but it was like so much emotion was radiating off of me. So that's the first one. Now, the second one is feeling that something big is about to change. And if you're on a twin flame journey, you might be relating this to your twin flame, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It could be any aspect of your life, right? Because there's no aspect of your life that your twin flame journey doesn't touch, because it is you, you are it. It's all one and the same at the end of the day. So if you're experiencing a twin flame journey, you know this. You know that your twin flame is in your work, they're in your health, they're in your dreams, they're in your relationships, they're in every aspect of your life. And so if you're having this feeling of like something big is coming, there's a reason for it. And one of those reasons is that we have this ending of this 9-year cycle and this beginning of this 1-year cycle. So I have written down here, you might be feeling anxiety out of nowhere. So if you're feeling just like this overall underlying feeling of anxiety all the time, that is normal for right now. We are like at like the crunch time. We're at crunch time with these last couple of months before 2026 starts. So naturally we're like, okay, we need to get stuff done. Like your nervous system might be ramped up. But again, I want to give you your power back, because you have the ability to choose as a conscious creator whether you interpret that as fear or anxiety, or whether you interpret it as excitement. Now, this is not to say don't tend to your nervous system, because of course, if you feel like you're running on adrenaline or you're anxious all the time, definitely tend to your nervous system. But what this is really getting at is you have the ability to perceive how things are showing up in your reality. So you can say, oh, I'm anxious all the time. Or you can say, I'm really excited for what's coming next, right? And my body's preparing for that, right? My body is feeling into what my soul has for me, right? Your soul is going to unfold so much more in 2026 and beyond, this next cycle that we're going into. So your soul is already preparing you, and your body is now becoming attuned to all the gifts and all the blessings that are going to be coming to you in 2026. So this is a funny one, and I wasn't expecting this one to come through, but it also has been playing a role in my life. So you might be having resistance to acting on things that are good for you. And what I mean by this is, you know what you should be doing. You know what the right actions are, but some reason you feel super resistance to doing that. Like earlier this year, I knew I needed to be drinking 2 to 3 liters of water a day, but for some reason, every single time I thought about drinking water, I had some resistance to it. And so this can happen for a couple different reasons, okay? For one reason, it's the fear of the new. Right? Again, coming out of this old cycle, this old karmic pattern, and now going into the full new, going into the 0 point field, into the void, right? And so when you are doing something that's good for you, right? Or something new, or something that's positive, it can feel really scary, because those old programs want you to self-sabotage. They want you to stay small. They want you to be safe, right? Our ego is always trying to protect us. So if there's something you need to do, like launch a course or launch a product, or, go to the gym, and you feel resistance to that, that's a good thing, because it's your ego saying, hey, there's something exciting on the other side of that, right? There's something positive on the other side of that, and I'm scared. I'm trying to keep you safe. I'm trying to keep you out of the unknown. I'm trying to keep you in the predictable routines that we have already established. So now is a great time to address those fears. Now, the other thing is choosing yourself. Many of us grew up kind of self-sacrificing or self-sabotaging, or self-abandoning. And we grew up with the thought that we have to choose others over ourselves, or we have to make sure everybody else is okay. This is especially true if you identify as an empath or a highly sensitive person. Is you likely, whoever your caretakers were, whether it's your parents or grandparents or teachers, you likely attuned to them before attuning to yourself, right? And that was a survival mechanism. So you probably still are working through these programs of self-abandonment, saying that I need to sort everything else out before I sort out myself. And when we have resistance to doing things that are good for us, sometimes it comes from that place of self-sabotage or not choosing ourselves. Again, wanting to stay small, wanting to stay in that comfortable place of like, everyone else comes first. I know that reality. I know the predictability of what that creates. And while, yes, I suffer because of it, it also leaves me in a place of not needing to change, not needing to grow, not needing to expand. So when you have resistance to these things that you're supposed to be doing for yourself, or you know are going to be good for you, remember, it's you choosing yourself. Even if it's hard, even if it's scary, remember that you are choosing yourself. So the next one is karmic and past relationship baggage. Now, this is really interesting because it can be good or it can be bad. So we're at a review time again with this closing out of the cycles. Whatever relationships you had in the past, or even in the past 9 to 10 years, whatever was going on for you then, these relationships are likely going to be highlighted right now and likely are going to be in review for you right now. Now, that means that you might have good memories coming up. You might be missing somebody, or it might be that you have bad memories coming up. One of actually our twin flames in the twin flame community brought up last night that he wasn't necessarily having good or bad memories. A lot of it was like bad memories, but he realized he didn't have the same trauma response associated to these memories anymore. He was more so just taking stock. And two of our community members brought up the fact that they were adding a certain level of consciousness to how they approached these past relationships, right? So if something bad played out or if something good played out, know that you're bringing a level of consciousness that maybe wasn't possible at that point in that relationship. So you're able to look back at things differently now and move forward in a place that's not like, oh, I need to be way over here or I need to be way over there, right? And we talked about this last night also in our community call, is like a lot of times we find ourselves on this pendulum thing, and we see this a lot through generations. So my grandparents did this and I don't want to do that, so my parents did this, and I don't want to be my parents, so I'm going to do this. And we end up ping-ponging back and forth between these two realities that are still on polar opposite ends of the spectrum. Whereas really what we want to do is we want to find some balance, right? And what that means is not saying directly yes and not saying directly no to what did or didn't work in the past. It's more so just about understanding, okay, that didn't work, but maybe I can apply that here and it will work. Or it's about saying, oh, I really liked that, but maybe now is not the place and time to implement it, right? It's about having the conscious awareness of choosing in this moment, not just saying yes out of program and not just saying no out of program. So this is going to be a lot about bringing forward that consciousness to those relationships. Now, with that being said, going back to these past memories, you might feel yourself grieving a lot and letting go. Again, we're ending a massive cycle. So grief and letting go, like on a very, very deep level, is super common right now. So if you find yourself in a low space energetically or just crying a lot, that's okay. That's meant to be happening right now. That's just you letting go. It's you processing what needs to be processed. That doesn't mean you need to go call your ex. It doesn't mean you need to act on it. It just means you need to allow it to come forward and to move through you. So then what's also coming up for a lot of us is a fear of going backwards. Again, when we have these kind of review times where old stuff is coming up to be dealt with or integrated, a lot of times we feel like, why is this coming up? Like, I thought I dealt with this. And then we can sometimes be a little bit hard on ourselves and say like, oh God, am I going backwards? Now there's another aspect of this where your soul and your like intuitive self can feel the magnitude of what's coming. And so there sometimes is a fear that I'm not going to get there, right? Because I'm not there right now and I can feel that reality. We feel that gap between where we want to go and where we are right now. And we think, oh gosh, am I going backwards? I'm not going to get there. What if I repeat the same cycles in 2026 that I did all throughout this last 9-year cycle? And we start to get in our heads and we get really tough on ourselves. What I want to bring to you now is, again, giving your power back to you. It is a choice. It is a conscious choice to repeat patterns and cycles or to choose a new way. Okay, karma is nothing but a cycle. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just a repetition of a cycle. And so you are actually the one that has the power to play that cycle out again or to choose a new way. Now, another thing to consider, if you're watching this from the Northern Hemisphere, you guys are going into winter right now. So not only do you have this massive 9-year cycle ending, but you also have the feeling of slowing down, going into fall, going into winter, turning inward. This is naturally a time of reflection in the Northern Hemisphere. So just keep in mind that if you're feeling that super significantly right now, that's a collective thing and like a geographical thing. So it might not even be yours specifically, this fear of being left behind. It could also be just a collective thing and a geographical thing that's playing out. So again, give yourself grace, be gentle with yourself, and know that this stage is going to pass, right? It's not going to last forever. So that brings us to return of your sexual energy. Many of us are feeling, again, this excitement of something new, a 1 year. And if you think about the number one is very phallic looking, right? It's very masculine. It has this forward momentum. It has this newness. And so many of us, especially if, so like myself, I am in human design a sacral authority. So if you also find yourself in kind of this, you really resonate or you really lead with your sacral energy, you might find that you have a return of sexual energy coming to you. And I want to make a reminder also, sexual energy is life force energy. There's nothing different about sexual energy than any energy that we use in lifetime. And so what's interesting about this on a twin flame level is many of us like to project that our twin flame kind of owns our sexual energy because they've made us feel a way that we've never felt before. And a lot of times when we're in a twin flame dynamic, we're like, I can't imagine having sex with anybody else because it would never compare to my twin flame. And while all of that is good and well, this is your reminder that your sexual energy belongs to you. No matter who reflects it back to you, no matter who might ignite it, it is yours. So even if you're walking down the street and you feel super sexually attracted to like a random person, it's not their sexual energy, it's your sexual energy that ignited something within you. And so then you have the conscious choice to use that alchemy or use that sexual energy in an alchemical way and put it towards your shopping or put it towards your creative projects or put it, with your children and use that energy to give your children something. Or you have the opportunity to use that sexual energy sexually. Like, it doesn't have to be, and this is part of being a conscious creator, is you can say, whoa, I've got a lot of energy in my sacral chakra right now, and I can either use that in a sexual way, or I can transmute it and use it for something else. That is your choice. And any kind of energy that you feel coming off of another person, again, is always a reflection of something that's already within you. Last but not least, if you've stuck with me to the end, put a flame heart emoji in the comments. I want to see who's made it to the end. But last but not least, You might be trying to build momentum in some area of your life. Maybe it's your business, maybe it's your health, maybe it is your relationships, whatever it might be. You might be trying and putting energy out to build momentum, and you kind of build it up and then it comes fizzling back down, and you build it up and then it fizzles back down. Know that for this time, in this time, that's pretty normal. Okay, there's so much energetically that's happening right now, whether talking about astrology, whether you're talking about the end of this cycle, whatever it is that's coming up, there's so much coming up. And sometimes the reason why you're not able to gain the traction that you would like to gain is because the universe actually wants you to start this on like a clean slate. The universe is like, okay, sure, you can start building the momentum now. It's not going to be a bad thing. It's never too early to start the things that you want to do. But also the universe is kind of saying like, what you're doing right now is you're just building the foundation and the habits. We want this to be birthed into the new energy, right? We want this to come in the new cycle. So don't try to push too hard to make things happen right now. Just get yourself in the space of creating the routines, creating the momentum, creating the systems and the structures that you need. Because then when all that energy comes into you and you're actually gaining momentum and you're propelling yourself forward, you're going to be able to hold it, right? So much of our manifestation abilities and our abilities to move forward in life is us being able to retain a certain amount and receive a certain amount of energy. So when you have those systems in place, you'll actually be able to receive that momentum and hold it, where it's not just like, oh my God, everything's coming at me at once and now it's all just going to fall apart. I'm thinking of like a juggler, and you know how people that juggle, they just keep adding balls and they keep adding balls. And at a certain point, there's like too many going and they all fall down. Like this is ensuring that you'll be able to keep that momentum when more is rushing in. So that is my energy update for you for the rest of 2025. I highly, highly recommend you save this video and go back to it when you need to. So just know that all of these things can come up in any order at any time. Some may come up for you and some might not. So let me know in the comments below what has actually been coming up for you. And if you have any questions, please also don't hesitate to put it in the comments and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Again, if you're looking to join a supportive community, please check out Union Catalyst Portal. You can try your first 7 days for free. And I have an incredible opportunity. I am uploading an 11-week Twin Flame Path to Awakening transformational course for Twin Flames, which is going to give you every step that you need to reach your own inner union, whatever that looks like for you. So if you're interested in finding inner union for yourself, check out Union Catalyst Portal down below and do it now, because in the coming weeks when this course is uploaded, the price is going to jump up $10 a month. So if you get in now, you're going to be grandfathered in at the price that you're at. So that is just for you. I'm sending you so much love. Let me know how I can help and serve and support, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.